Hello and welcome to another video by me, Anzani84. Today we're looking at chapter 24 of Super Sentai vs Super Sentai Another Illusion of Strength. Author's note, good god, it took kind of long to upload this chapter. Damn, this writer's block of mine. Also, it seems that the team is engaged with a series of connected storylines. How will they fare? Regardless, enjoy. I have no idea what he's trying to say, but let's press on. It's been 2 days since the latest incident. Super Sentai was able to resume their daily life in this new world while keeping watch on what the enemies may be up to. However, as of current, he found no suspicious activities. It just happened that on that day was a Sunday, and on that day everyone gathered in bonds together. Too many on that days. Seeing that Taku had a seemingly normal plan. Having gathered a team in the training room, Taku took his steps in front of him and started to speak. It's not meant to be some official announcement or something. I'm kind of bad at that. Get on with it already. Rather than letting him talk really long and knowing it's not his style, and ultimately would be boring for him. Mikoto cut him off. Talk really long. Or you'll fall asleep mid-speech. Of course, Taku nodded in agreement and continued. Well, we're both stumping our bonds together and training ourselves about to come. Let's have a kumai to each other. Kumai? What? Sato was quite confused with the term, but before someone corrected her, she flung a guess anyway. You mean something like sparring? Yep, Taku nodded in confirmation. Wow, you're pretty well informed, Chisato, Momoko praised as she smiled and tapped her shoulder. How do you know such term? Such term. You don't seem to be one to be into martial arts. Yeah, there's too many B's there. Well, that term comes often comes up in fighting games, Sato answered. Even she's more into photography, she knew the reason she became a Megarine in the first place was because she's also into video games. Or perhaps you stumbled across her operation during an attack. Okay, for starters, Taku then glanced at her teammates. He'll need a pet to start the whole thing. He realised that maybe this could be his perfect chance to throw his strength of bond with someone who's just recently in. Momoko, do you want to get the honour of being a first girl? Huh? Me? Momoko pointed herself, surprised at how she was suddenly picked, but she picked herself up as quickly as she got up. Sure, I guess. Heh, so this is a fellow masked man. Melly was licking her lips. She was just preparing her itching fingers if they're ready to be cleansed, and onto her fist that would land right onto her opponent's face as she continued to mutter. That was way too long a sentence. Taku put up a pretty good fight here. You might have proven your mettle before, but I'll see if you can keep up. Let's see. Taku then looked for candidate of the Kumai's opponent for Momoko. Candidate off. However, he also wants to make sure it's not just those who are already mastered martial arts to get all the fun. Then seeing his eyes slightly widened, knowing on who to pick. He smiled. As he smiled, he pointed to his target. Hoji, you go. Wait, it's me? Hoji was surprised well, but he still got up anyway. Of all people? Don't worry, I know you'll do fine, Taku assured him. Besides, still on your boxing, right? Sounds legit enough for me. Look here, just because I used it a few times doesn't mean I'm an expert, Hoji corrected, but he continued to move forward. I guess at this point all you have is your pride to not back down from any challenge, Jiraiya commented. Even if he did not see it, Hoji was raising his eyebrow. Seemed like Jiraiya guessed him right. Guessed him right. All he had was his pride. Hoji, May suddenly muttered. Still remembered how last night's notice it looked like there was an air of distress and worry surrounding him when he blundered in the last battle. He worried her. What was that, May? Hoji heard at least that, so he responded one last time. You called? Oh, nothing in particular. Just, May tried to think of the easiest words to say in this situation. With an off missing, she instead thought about the usual way. Once he slipped into a normal English word, commonly used to cheer on someone. Fighter! Huh? Okay. Hoji just smiled. He'll let that be. It's common for cheerleaders to say such thing, and he understood her purpose. Then took his position, facing Momoko, and prepared his stance. Hoji, don't take this too hard, okay? Momoko noticed prepared her stance. Seemed focused, much like she trained in her Tai Chi Quan. It's fine if you, maybe I'm not go on full force on someone who's not used to heavy metal boxing. What? Not go on full force? At that point, something stung Hoji from his heart. He's being underestimated. Did Momoko even know about that previous blunder? Whether Rat Neji managed to get the best of him and disrupt him? He had to prove himself. That should have just been a blunder. He could take this on, no matter how hard. I hate to do it, but sorry for borrowing your phrase, Tetsu. Reminded with his ally, holding in at his answer. Nonsense! Come at me with all you've got, Momoko. Oh, I guess everyone's set. Taku knows he put his hand forward. Alright, ready? Then he pulled it upwards, signaling the start of a battle. Begin! In a quick moment, Hoji rushed forward and launched several punches, mostly several light jabs, but he's quick to combine with a few straights. However, Momoko can't only just shove the O's aside, taking a defensive stance. Is she underestimating me or just merely going defensive? Hoji wondered as the assault continued. No good. As the rest was watching, I noticed something as well after I spoke. Seems like Hoji was rushing too much, but it's not going to end well for him. Now come to think of it, yeah, Chisato could detect that as well. It's like he's got other things in his mind. This is different than any time he fought close range. Interesting. Mikoto chose to keep silent, but he seemed impressing. Both you were able to read the situation, but it is not going well for that police. In the meantime, May chose to keep silent. Had been no time to continue to cheer for him, but she knew it wasn't proper and might break his concentration. What will happen? Gotcha! All of a sudden, Momoko grabbed Hoji's arm and flipped him to the ground. Then launched her fist just enough to put it near his neck and stopped there. Hoji was not in motion after just being slammed to the ground. Well, duh. Said, this match goes to Momoko. Taku concluded the battle. Hoji decided he just lost like that. He felt he's not even getting stronger this way. His mind flew somewhere else, or to be exact, the time when he blundered and struck by the rat Nedre. This is really the limit of what I can do. Hoji! Silence went broken when he heard Momoko calling his name. Instead, her palm was open, like offering him to get up. It's a good match, and, well, I hope I wasn't being too hard. He shouldn't ignore such thing. Hoji grabbed her arm and got up. I did as you asked, though. I did not hold back. Oh, so basically you were just playing on defensive. As Momoko nodded to confirm, Hoji knew that she's telling the truth. Thanks for giving it your all, you two. As two-faced Taku, he complimented them before he looked at the rest of the team continuing the event. Okay, let's see who's next. Meanwhile, at the enemy base, Long and Mio is all gathered at the request of Lee Joel. Seeing that he's trying to create a new Trinoid. So this is the project you're building up. Sibylline consciously remembered how she got behind her creating Rat Nedre before. However, she noticed something. Wait, these things. The drawings Lee Joel made by her brush were instead, a wolf, a cloudy mist, and a jasmine flower. What does this has to do with a rat? I changed my mind, Lee Joel light-heartedly answered. Sorry, Shibo, I thought a rat could have been perfect, but Long offered a better deal. So, there. Something that happened in the learning process, Bell explained. Best for one so young and innocent. He stopped at that point. I wish he could snark on how it might not guarantee success, but if he said anything funny, he knew that Long would give him unnecessary injuries. I guess so. Sibylline could only nod, not until she realised something. Wait, did he just call me Shibo? Yet another proof of her childishness, I see. That to be yet more proof. So, what kind of deal did you make for her, Long? Curiously, Gasadoko then asked her. Long, coming from you, I think you're going to have some manipulation plans. Or you're more perspective than your bootstrap and thick skulls show you. Long smiled smugly as he looked at Lee Joel, who gave the finishing touch to her paintings. What? First, I, the all-knowing infinite dragon, knows that something is going on with one certain Sentai here. So I thought, why not capitalize it? You already have capitalized it. This guy catches on quick on things. Whatever it is. Kira thought he looked at Long with caution. Even he failed to notice something about the Super Sentai. Even if he has looked at the footage on the battle against the Rat Nedre before. Even he didn't spot something unusual. And lastly, I've got some extra ammunition I'd like to spend. Long for his explanations. So you can say this is our collaboration. And that is all I can say. For the rest, just sit back and enjoy the show. Oh, finally Lee Joel finished the pictures that he drew up the sky. The pictures he drew consist of a wolf, a jasmine flower, and a mist. No duh. Once they were combined, the Trinoid was born. A Trinoid with the body of a wolf, with jasmine flowers on the shoulder, and steam occasionally coming out of the body to create an illusion similar to mists. And done. She's number 25, Trinoid, Okasumin. Looks a little simplistic. Wait, does she? Kyo was shocked on how Legion referred her new monster in gender. How'd he tell? With my voice, maybe. Okasumin suddenly spoke. Finally convincing Kyo that it's really a female. Finally, it didn't take that long. Shouldn't expect it to be a show of brute force. Miss Legion created me with that in mind, but my asset is somewhere else. Seems like it worked perfectly. Even the voice banks were as I suggested. Bella spoke, ominously catching the attention of the others. What sorcery is this, and how can a merchant like you predict one's mind and influence that? Gasatoko pushed the bell and demanded to know how such a thing was possible. I had a hand on it, Long explained. I asked Bella if he has ever recalled the voice of any of his enemies. Turned out he did, so I brought back information to Lee Jewel to inspire her more. It's nothing special for an immortal like me. What does that have to do with this voice and the monster? Lami asked further. Well, as he said, it is not going to be a battle of brute force, Bella answered. It's that the voice would belong to one of those blasted Deca Rangers, one certain Deca Yellow, who I believe were named Jasmine. That was her nickname, actually. That's it, just the voice, Shibalina continued. But I think I can read on what you're aiming at. Read on. Of course, the Casman suddenly cut off the conversation straight down. Soon they'll beg that we should have sent some Brutus monks instead of me and my. Even then, such dramatic moment was ruined when suddenly Legio moved her head and kissed Casamin on the cheek. Miss Legio, what was that for? My good luck charm, Legio said instantly. Now get moving, okay? Don't let the others say that to you. It's just going to get worse. Of course. After bowing in respect, Casmin leapt away from the room, ready to send to earth. As everyone watched her go, Long's face suddenly slowly formed a smirk. Now, the next phase can begin. After the Kumite session ended, Hoji requested time to be away from the team. He insisted that he had some unfinished SPD cases to take care of. While part of it was true, he had another purpose, something that he thought thoroughly as he rode through a lonely road with nothing but his motorcycle. I'm even that strong, but I always need to depend on others, but I cannot even stand on my own. A thought pierced through Hoji's mind. He couldn't get over his mistake before, but he let the rat Nedry get the best of him. Then compounded with the fact that he lost the spar against Momoko, and worse even, the offensive stance she took, she was just holding back, pitying me. He had learned so far that it was okay to sometimes depend on others. That's a lesson he took at heart during his tenure as a Deca Ranger. Where with the current events, the strength of the enemy, he ended up wondering whether it's okay if sometimes becomes constantly. Like a leech to his team, I have to stand on my own, to be able to fight alone even when there's no one around. I have to be strong on that level. But that thought was abruptly interrupted when he sensed something incoming. However, he had little time to react. Someone leapt right onto his body and pushed him away from the motorcycle he's riding. Ooh, kinky. Looks like I found you, worthy one. Turned out it was Okasumin as he saw Hoji roll over to the ground, but he quickly got back to his feet. What the hell are you talking about, monster? Hoji prepared a defensive stance. He kept his distance. He knew he recognized that voice. However, no, just because they have the same voice doesn't mean to transform Jasmine. The feeling is completely different. I suppose I need to test you out first, Okasumin says. He cracked her fist. Looking at how Hoji still kept his stance, she started beckoning further. What's the matter, Sentai? Doesn't want to transform? Doesn't. Well, you asked for it. Hoji quickly drew his SB license before to transform. Emergency! Deca Ranger! In a short time, he transformed to Deca Blue. Yep, I certainly asked for this. Okasumin grinned as wide as she could. This one have a moving mouth? That sounds creepy. As she spread her arms, but Jasmine from her shoulders started firing a rather thick mist forward. Whoa, what? Deca Blue covered his face with both his arms, but couldn't stop the whole mist surrounding him. Eventually, Deca Blue just stopped covering his face. He knew that he's inside a thick mist. What is this? Trying to hide the mist while, before he could finish, a part of the mist in front of him suddenly cleared up, revealing Okasumin. That was brave of you. It isn't my kind of testing ground, but true form of combat, Catherine said and boasted, now cracking her neck. Perfect place for good old close combat. If that's so, Deca Blue said he tried to reach out something, only to be shocked when he noticed something. Wait, my D-Rod, D-Sniper, and unarmed. Only with that I'll see how strong you are. There's a will missing there. Okatsumin says he stepped forward before suddenly leaping and punched Deca Blue in the head. Just as he was knocked away, he reached the mist that surrounded him. It's like hitting a wall. He stopped there before falling down to the ground. There's no place to hide either. If I want to get out of here, then face me. Looks like I've got no choice. Deca Blue quickly got back on his feet and prepared for the only stance he knew from this. For boxing stance. This won't be that much, but the least I can do. He ran rushed forward and threw a straight punch, but Okatsumin dodged it easily before smacking him with her elbow. That's it. Your form, your stance, your strikes. How weak. You call yourself a warrior? Shut up, boo! Deca Blue retorted. He got back up and struck once more. This time 3 consecutive body blows. For each blows, Okatsumin swatted them aside easily. However, even Deca Blue had thought of his own surprise. He continued to strike. Just because I know boxing doesn't mean I should be exempt from surprise attacks. This is an official match. There is no rule to follow. Just as Deca Blue was futilely throwing his punches, all of a sudden he reached out his hand like grabbing Okatsumin on the chest. Gotcha! He was about to slam her jaws right onto his rising knee before he could even raise his foot. It was Okatsumin who struck first for a knee strike right into his stomach. That's to be striking. Thinking of surprise attack is good, but still no match for my prowess. Okatsumin boasted while delivering 2 more knee strikes onto Deca Blue's stomach, tossing him to the ground. Can't even surpass me alone when you are just a weakling. A weakling that dies because of the law of nature. As Okatsumin continued her relentless attacks, Deca Blue could feel his pride hurt further and further. I couldn't stand up on my own. I'm not strong enough. Why can't I beat her myself? His frustration, the concept of trusting others started to blur from him. It was taken over by his desire for something. His desire to stand strong on his own without depending on others. At this point, Kaito Kumon enters the story to congratulate him and tell him he's truly strong, before leaving abruptly. Well, that desire seemed too far to reach, so he couldn't even lay any blows to Okatsumin at all. Damn it all. Here's the end of it. Okatsumin finished up with, as she put her hands forward before moving one back upwards, the other downwards, and then they started to move, forming half a circle each. Before leaping forward and delivered 2 straight punches one by one. The blows were powerful enough to eventually drain Deca Blue of his strength, damaging him severely as he collapsed even more. You know, I'd be glad to kill you, but Okatsumin slowly walked towards the fallen Hoji before suddenly she turned back and walked away. You're not even worth killing. However, before she could take a step, Okatsumin grabbed her leg. What? Wait, I'm not done, Hoji said weakly, being the one who grabbed legs. I'll stop you. Do your planning. Stop me? Ha, not in a million years, Okatsumin taunted. Not with such weak form, you can't beat me. Even so, I won't give in. Hoji literally forced himself to hold a grip onto Okatsumin's leg. There was a silence in a bit. Eventually Okatsumin gave in. You know what? How about this for a change, spoke? I'll shape you up real good till it's good for you to be able to keep up against me. Then you can try to kill me. What? Hoji was shocked hearing it. However, he smelt a trap, knowing that it came from a monster. There it is, it will be up to no good. Why should I try to make a deal with a devil like you? Look, it's for your own good. Okatsumin suddenly had Jones to aim something of a stern mentor. You keep this shape up, you'd be a burden to your team. Do you want that? Hoji was shocked hearing this. It was part of the source of his strength. Above all, he wants to get rid of that. He wants to be strong. My philosophy has always been to take care of myself where I can start giving a crap to other people. So while you help others, strengthen yourself first, or you'll be a burden, a load. That was solid enough, but what a chance that he won't betray us, Hoji insisted further. I want to get strong, but not. All of a sudden the mist cleared. Okatsumin then grabbed his arms and gently let him get up. What? That's why I said I was looking for a worthy one. A worthy one to help me. I'm on a run. On a run. Okatsumin continued. That long was complete bastard to me. Even we were on the same team. There's probably a word missing there. Sent him and his fellow monsters to hunt me down for no apparent reasons, even enhanced him so I couldn't even scratch him. I wouldn't expect any less from Long. Hoji scoffed, but he's still skeptical. Tell me again why I should help you. Monsters can only be defeated by a Sentai warrior, and it must be done alone by someone whose profession wasn't a warrior-like profession, Okatsumin explained. The database said you're a cop. That's why I cannot contact any of your martial artist friends for this. And why not go for Mei or Tisato? They're not martial artists. You got the tenacity, but your skills could use some work. So shut up. Hoji was silent afterwards, but it seemed like an obvious trap. There was something in his heart that told him to go ahead and take the offer. She was making points. How could he protect anyone if he ended up being the one protected? Plus, after being defeated so badly, he felt he couldn't reveal that without getting some reprimanding. Not until he defeated her. So then, sounds like a good deal, right? Okasmin said. I helped train you to defeat both guys, then you can kill me. Therefore, if I have anything nasty in plans for humanity, I'm already dead by your hands. What do you say? Hoji analysed the situation. Once again, this might be a little trap. The explanations were solid enough. And if what she told him said about those monsters being immune to martial artists, when he thought about it, only made Sato Mikoto a not of martial arts background aside of him. Once again, his desire to stand up on his own and not trouble others started overwhelming him. Whether he managed to keep himself together, looks like I have to play along for now. I'll get my boom, but I have to watch my back. Fine, but on one condition. Hoji said to her. In any moment you suddenly tell me to do something nasty onto my friends of the innocents, then our deals are off. Of course, I know the possibility that you can call your friends to defeat me, Casmin nodded. As such, we must not let your friends know about our little training session. Training session? Hoji was confused, but he stood for one thing. Remember the deal, though. If it involves something horrific to others, the training itself is nothing but sparring until you can at least take on those monsters. But the test? I might not know. It depends. Okasamin continued. You will kill those monsters alone, but if you don't do that quickly, who knows what they will do for others. There'll be two of us. Hoji knew he was walking to a minefield. However, his mind was set to play his gamble. He would use the monster offer to get stronger and take care of multiple monsters without being a burden. He would be able to stand on his own and no longer fell to such embarrassing blunder when being approached from close range. First and foremost, he had to keep this from his own eyes of his secret deal. Consider this something like going undercover. And so it began. The days of Hoji committing himself to his secret deal. He'd often make excuses of having SPD business that required him to go solo. Something like going undercover. The team would understand, not bother with him. However, once he was out of his sight, he would meet up with Okasmin and train himself in close combat. Mons was surprisingly honouring her deal with him, training him with utmost dedication and making sure that Hoji would become a tough close-range fighter. While he kept his boxing stance, he learned to do some kicking, not limiting himself with boxing. It was like learning mixed martial arts. Combined with Hoji's knack to learn quickly, he learned all his new skills quickly. One day, a test of reckoning was just right in front of him. Hoji prepared to depart from Bonds to meet this test. It seemed quite similar to getting the SB license. Hoji thought as he walked to the door of his room. The mere mention of SB license, even just on his mind, made him aware of his past use of Teresa. However, Hoji just shook his head, trying not to let the thought of her distract him. She's safe in this condition. When he opened his door, he did not expect this figure standing right in front of him, just waiting for him to open the door. May? Hoji, what do you want? Hoji asked directly. You know I've got a business. I'm not sure if it's normal business. I've been into this case for very long. May replied both the air of suspicion and worry, but it was clear that she's very concerned with Hoji. I smell some sort of trap, something that Long might be planning. Hoji heard there was a chance that this was all an elaborate trap. However, he couldn't back down. This was a mission he chose to take by himself. You worry too much. I have to get going, now. Well, the conversation could be dragged even longer. However, he stopped when he realised May grabbed his wrist. Hoji, please, she called out. Listen to me. Maybe it's just me, but ever since that battle against the Rat Nedre, you've been acting a little weird. What? Hoji was shocked. How did May predict about his frustration? She didn't predict, she knew about it. He was right. Ever since that battle, he felt frustration, but he felt obliged to quell by himself. His pride would never let anyone know about it, not even his friends. If you have problems, please confide with us. We're here for you, May pleaded, tightening her grip. Just don't go, please. Stop that, May. Hoji then used his other hand and patted me on my head. I'll be fine, everything is fine, you'll just overthink it. Hoji meant to just assure her, but he indirectly hit a small nerve in the princess, who ended up making her chief a little putter as if giving an annoyed face. Hoji, could you please stop treating me like a child? What, a substitute little sister figure is not good enough? Hoji smiled at her, trying as hard to get her assured. Even he realised, although he realised that his feelings about her was genuine. The more he saw May, the more she's close to something of a second little sister to him, if she was actually millions of years old, as an of missing there. However, he noticed that she's slightly lessening her grip. Thought she still have have another way to get her to listen. Look, I understand that you're from a past era, but how detectives and police work goes. Sometimes it requires you to go undercover. It's just another day's job to me. Looks like nothing would stop you. May finally sighed, giving up. She released her arm from Hoji. Just please remember that if you have problems, you always have us, okay? She tried to smile, but the worry within her didn't go away completely. Good luck. Don't worry, I will. With that, Hoji finally was able to step away from the base. However, not one single second did May use to avert her sight from Hoji. She was very worried. Did something happen? A female voice from behind was all it took to finally break her concentration. As May looked behind, she saw Momoko standing. Momoko! So it seems you were seeing Hoji off, Momoko guessed, judging that she was standing in front of Hoji before commenting. It's strange. You seem rather close with Hoji. Don't tell me. Wait, is that though? Didn't just... May was shocked, remembering some past incidents with Hoji, including posing as a bride. He started to wonder, did Chisato spilled the beans, even if she no longer had the proof? Was she gossiping with Momoko behind her back? No, Momoko, you got that wrong. Hoji and I never said anything about you two dating or something, Momoko corrected. Her face did show stern, so how serious she was in her statement. But lately you seem to be approaching him a lot. Something must have happened to him that you worry, haven't it? Haven't it? I think it is my feeling, but... Mayhem proceeded to tell her about what she thought. I think that ever since the battle with Batarat Nedjure, Hoji has some sort of frustration pent up inside. Maybe about not being strong enough that he made an unnecessary blunder. Wait, not strong enough? Mirko was shocked hearing it. But she thought perhaps he held some level of culpability. Maybe that Kumite session before. Hoji's final test had to be facing against not one, but 4 higher level Rin Rinshi, all of them ganging up on him. And on his agreement, Okasmin enshrouded him and all the 4 Rin Rinshi within her mist stone. It can only mean one thing. Either Hoji came out alive or dead. At that point, something began to change within him as he fought. Became more adept in close-range fighting, bound with how he's already transformed to Deca Blue. At some point, however, he started using even more vicious and powerful strikes by his limbs alone. You wanna get nuts? Let's get nuts! It was like he transformed into the ultimate fighting machine. But slowly and steadily, notions of protecting humanity started to dwindle from his mind. All he cared about was nothing but getting stronger. Whenever he thought of mankind that needed protection, all of it were brushed away with the thoughts like, how can I even protect if I am not strong? Giving him drive to fight him in battle. Training with Okasmin helped tremendously as well, but the training seemingly encouraged him to be more brutal. As landing more strikes with Rinrinsi enemies, more soured his style and strikes came. But if he concentrated one straight punch, his twist tore through one of Rinrinsi's chest, killing him. There was no remorse. Next, another Rinrinsi fell to his straight punch, and 2 more fell to his kick. All of it having one fatal strike tearing through their chest. Oh, so we don't even get to learn what animal motif these guys were. That's disappointing. Meanwhile, the battle was watched by the enemies at their base, with them looking at both shock and awe. There's an odd missing there. What brutality, Kira said while watching. Not sure if I'm seeing any difference between him and us now. The most students you bought, were it's supposed to be this week? Gastogo couldn't believe Urin Rinshi's long shows this mission ended up being on the losing side. They had such advantage at first too. Such advantage. Did you not hear what I said before? Abel reminded them. This whole setup is supposed to be something that makes them wish we sent brute force monsters instead. Lambert took a glance at Lee Jewel, who stood next to Long and only grinning. Knowing her, this is supposed to be a pure fight, to be cheering for her Trinoid, but she's not. This like Lee Jewel might be sharper than her innocent outlook belies. Much like Lee Jewel, a smirk was also fallen on Long's mouth. But his was a bit different. It was like he was playing for future investment as well. All according to plan. And the mists cleared. The victory was clear. Only Deca Blue stood as though Cusmin approached him, clapping her hands. Well done. You truly has helped me. The Trinoid congratulated him. Whether there was an eerie silence before Deca Blue turned towards her. If he was unmoored, his face would have been showing a rather unsettling grin. This is strength. I feel like I can take on the whole world from now on, Deca Blue said in a rather low tone. 4 evil monsters, killed by my own hands. I am close to the level where I am strong enough, and it was all thanks to you. Expecting gratitude and a chance to kill me, aren't you? Ooh, Casmin teased. To restore your pride, isn't it? With strength like this, pride like that are easy to recover. No evil shall get ahead of me. Deck Blue continues to declare into a gasping. That perfectly goes to you as well. Understand? I understand. But Catherine backed away a bit before regaining her composure. No, you can't wait to kill me, but I couldn't help to notice a certain criminal from your files. Usually he would have been suspicious of that statement, but for some reason, you're not even bothered to ask her about it. Tell me which criminal and I'll use him as the test bed of my new power. Meanwhile, after quite some time not having any suspicious activities, the Super Sentai is finally calling to act may notice a group of army of soldiers, as an of missing there, wreaking havoc in the city. Quickly made a short work of it and wiped out the group after evacuating the children. That's it? No big monster or anything? That was the first spot knowledge about the fight. Here I thought I'd get to test some of my skills better. I think I'm smelling a rat here, Abe Killer noted. I think that was the last structure. Of all times now, what the detective suddenly likes to take a sweet time for this nonsensical training session. Pretend they're a big monster at this point, they would have an advantage into black at it as well. But to send as normal soldiers like this, whenever a moment of pondering was interrupted when suddenly blasts of force was shot towards them. Was like them being shot many times with guns. What? Who's there? Miguel exclaimed. Could it be the boss is coming finally? And the voice that followed would shock them to the core. Alienizers, you are all under arrest. Hody, Red Master in shock, he saw Deck Blue as a culprit. That when took a leap from the building he was standing and landed to the ground. He was called Alienizer? Are you out of your mind? Hody, you Terrains could only mutter before she could do anything rash. Pink Mask managed to put her hand onto her shoulder, stopping her. Second thought, forget about arresting. Rather than keep a professional tone, Deck Blue instead started running. And what's worse, there was a big instinct of a killer that came out for him. Prepare to die! What? Even Abe Killer was shocked from his overly sudden shift on personality. However, thanks to being agile, he managed to slightly dodge a fatal straight punch, but he still got it with it. Gah! Hody, no! Mega couldn't bear to see this any longer. She tried to grab him from behind. What are you thinking? We're your friends! But he didn't receive the replies he wanted. The reply came in a round kick onto her head, knocking her away. All of you will die! Decker Blue growled as he approached the rest. What kind of sorcery is this? Ninjaback noted. Could it be? I knew it, Red Master lamented. I shouldn't have let you go and you off to that special assignment. I should have. Takaru! Pink Mask stopped his voice, looked him thoroughly. Remember what I told you just before? From May? That could have been the case, but Red Master took a fight stance. This moment all he can do is defend, until he wakes up. That idiot. Decided Melee and quite possibly Abe Killer, who were more annoyed, tore the hearts of Bettina as they had to take up their arms and fight their former comrade, seemed to have nothing but the instinct to kill. Wait, how did he become? We might be enemy based, now the enemies were looking at our heroes battle, and even they were surprised by some term of events. Seemingly had to question how it turned out. I didn't see him getting struck out or anything. You see, Sibyllina, Legio's innocent mask cracked started to explain. The moment Casimir pitted him against Long Rinchi was the moment it all began. It was a slow process, but it worked out perfectly, Long commented. That is why those followers of mine had their uses. Uses? Bellows said. Just for the record, I did not put a brainwashing drug or anything onto. It's not that I needed it anyway. Long cut that off. My Genki allowed to enshroud those Rinchi with essences that increased his bloodlust, which is made possible because Petrinoid has hit that Decker Blue in a rather sensitive spot, and he willingly gets himself into that fight thanks to the potential of defeating that Trinoid. With the Mist's Dome, every of the essence goes into him, and now in his eyes, it's like he's looking into monsters, exactly as planned. So he basically sent those Rinchi to death. But that means question was met with a nod, claiming that indeed, Long really counted on it. Flying ahead like that, Long, I hate to admit it, but you're one dangerous person that I absolutely must not underestimate. Chevalina was both terrified and in awe. The form of the helmet Long was planned to finger ahead, and was continued, may not be any way for him to break free, and may forever be under his thumb. But on the other hand, this strike was pretty heavy on the Super Sentai, that he might accomplish their mission here, but destruction of the Super Sentai instead of them. And at long last, the battle was about to conclude as Red Mask was the last warrior standing with Deck Blue approached him. You're the last one. This will be over soon. Red Mask was running out of options. He had to strike somewhere, but he didn't know exactly where it would be. Be a gamble for that. but hopefully it works for good. You then saw Hody took a quick step forward and was about to deliver a straight punch. Red Mask returned in kind. God hand! But two fists clasped. In the end, Deku-Blue's fist power went through Red Mask, knocking him away. What? I thought I have improved it, but it worked better now. What? Deku-Blue was undaunted and was approaching a fallen Red Mask. The then Sean grabbed on the leg, trying to stop him. Hody, please stop us and wake up! It was Terror Ranger. Please remember us. We are fighting against evil together. We will unite from various timelines too. Silence! And Deku-Blue shouted angrily, tried to let go of her grip on his leg. I have to warn you, a single kid from me is capable of improving monsters in one blow. But insist of being ripped away like that. Why have you done so already before? Suddenly Pink Man asks words trying to stop Deku-Blue's actions. We are just monsters in your eyes, right? And why didn't you just rip us apart for first strike ready? Bah, Deku-Blue was about to retort, but someone else chimed in as well. Vamos and all you are just a wannabe level when it comes to an evil fighter. I killed the one who said so. If I was in your place, I wouldn't even have remorse on ripping away my enemy if I had the chance. I suppose you were tougher than I thought. Deku-Blue was applying, even he found himself baffled. Why did he waste his time chatting like this? Should we finish him off? Really? What a boring lie that a kid can see through, Abigail retorted. The truth is, deep down, Pink Mask approached Deku-Blue and yet he couldn't find it himself to raise his fist for some reason. You still consider us friends, correct? That's why you couldn't strike us down when you could. Morogo, stay away! Ninjaback tried to warn. Miss Lady's going to. Wherever in Deku-Blue's case, something different was happening. The images of monsters in his eyes started to blur. Occasionally it was replaced by images of his friends. Hody, Pink Mask then gently grabbed his arm. May told me everything. That last battle frustrated you because of a small blunder. Then compound for how our Kumai session didn't end in your favour. Wait, what? Melee was shocked hearing that. Got into his mess because of all this mess because of that? What are you? Before she could blurt out some blunt and harsh opinion, Megiello was quick to clamp her mouth from behind. Not right now, Melee, or she might lose his chance. As Red Mask was trying to get up as well, he witnessed that Pink Mask sliding her hand from Deku-Blue's up around his hand. Momoko, I know you had a plan or something. Still, if you feel troubled on this, I want you to listen to me, Hody. Pink Mask said in a soft and comforting manner. No one blames you for this. No one thinks you was a useless load. You know, that doesn't make me realise one thing. You're actually pretty strong for someone who has no martial arts background. Just give too little credits for yourself. Unknown to anyone, as she spoke, Pink Mask had made Deku-Blue's hand form a seal, particularly her self-healing seal. Don't be too hard on yourself, Hody. Regardless of your strength, you always have a place in your team. It was at this moment that miracles could occur. Deku-Blue ended up recalling his sweet memories with his team, and they fought in a team. And sometimes there were blunders. Who allows also his memories of fellow Deku-Rangers. All those sweet memories started overwhelming. His head mind was in pain. Head mind. But how he wanted to break away from the seal and hold his hand to alleviate the pain. When Pink Mask tightly gripped his hand so his seal was unbroken. Fight it, Hody. You can get rid of his weakness and it's okay if you're not alone. She encouraged him. Even if he was not one who trained in aura power, the hand steel was working on its own to help ease his mind. Summoning all the good memories he had. Gah! And ultimately it brought him a vision. The first time he was so down at his tenure as a Deku-Ranger with his partner Ban. Watching him miss him, he was so disheartened, but Ban did not give a damn and continued to encourage him that he's actually better than he thought he was. He even had his way to do a poor cover up on his job, but he was pulled back from his depression to just show it how it's done. And more so, as he witnessed these events from his mind. SB punch of friendship. He heard a voice way too familiar for him. Partner, remember this? Ban. Yeah, just saying. Remember when he finished up Battle Bella? We all couldn't make it if we just worked solo. So don't sweat if you fail alone. There's always teamwork to cover for that. As Pink Mask was working on his mind, Terror Ranger already let go of her grip. However, she then detected something hiding at the bushes. Strike true! Terra arrow! She then drew her bow and shot the bush. The shot hit something. Gah! It was Okasmin that was hiding there. But did not expect that somehow Deku-Blue was already drew his D-sniper, gave a second shot right onto her as she fell down. How? Okasmin tried to get up. How do you get out of that? I got into this mess because of my own weakness and insecurity about my record of fighting. Decker Blue spoke. At this point, I think there was no murder instinct anymore, but instead regret. I went back in my eyes. I was like looking at monsters, or even, might not even matter. All I've wanted by time is single-handedly defeat others to prove my strength. Selfish, unbelievable. Oh, okay. There's no doubt about it. And the back bolted back at this point. Hody's back. I can already tell with his broken English. I knew it, Pink Mask commented, looking at old Caspian. This whole farce is set up by you, however it is, right? What kind of toy do you think a human heart is? You! Deck Blue's words suddenly turned angry again. However, it was a different anger. Okay, I'm trying to find my place now. It was an anger that he let his weakness consume him, an anger at someone who manipulated. How dare you? Toy around for a friend like that. Red Mask wanted to finish the sentence. But manipulation will not be forgiven by any means. Hody, you're ready to go, right? I don't have time to laze around, Deck Blue replied. I'm ready to go anytime. What is this? Depending on your friends again? Hasn't taunted further, trying to rile him up. That's too bad. You were really better off as some sort of lone wolf. Well, fair game's fair game after all. Barmians. A snap of a finger. Ocasmin then called forth a horde of barmians. This is a manipulation, alright. Aye, but how good you are you in a combat against people who are not being a mess in the head? What? Melee Beckamera. Probably a weakling, but I'll be judged later. Okay, just give me a minute to prepare the music for this fight scene. I'm gonna guess you would just use your barmians as meat shields and pawns, Miguel added. But we'll show you the difference you can make by trusting each other's. Yes, because that's what we are. Red Mask and stepped forward and everyone prepared themselves. Red Mask! Pink Mask! Hikari Sentai! Masked Man! Pursue mysterious cases. Decker Blue. Terra Ranger, May. Ninja Black. Jiraiya. Mega Yellow. I live with a love of Ryo-sama. Ryo-sama's love by fights Lava Warrior. Rinju Chameleon Ken Mistress. Melee. Excited to its finest. Aberrate Killer. We are Super Sentai. Right, cover me. Okasmin responded by saying our barmians right in the front. You were spelling them correctly earlier. Where did this N come from? Super Sentai faced back right in front of them and fought. Wherever one of them snuck through a swarm of barmians and suddenly, like a tiger, leapt to Okasmin while pinning it to the ground. The score be settled, Okasmin. It was Deck Blue, somehow still eager for a fight. You can do it, Hoji. As he fought, Hingeback was able to look at his friend and gave his encouragement, while he just stabbed a barmy sword without even looking with his Kakuri-mo, presumed to fight the swarm with the others. In the same time, both Deck Blue and Okasmin dragged themselves too far away from where his friends fought. Compared to their last solo battle, Deck Blue fared far better. Perhaps he regretted why he took the bait and fell for the trap. Did it mean the training results went away? Even without the power to punch through someone else's body with just a fist, his form was still improved. Your mistake was picking me as your victim, Deck Blue said. Can you punch Okasmin at the stomach? For it wouldn't rip through her body, they still hurt. And then not counting on the net like a friend that I built up over these years. Now all you've taught to me, I'm throwing them back at you. Gah! Winching on her pain, Okasmin I had to throw back what was said to her. Yet here you are, fighting me alone. To try to counter her left hook, but he dodged easily. Because the manipulated coward like you, I alone is enough. At Deck Blue stage back, he delivered an uppercut that sent her flying. She reap what you sow. Ha, you still like to duel with me, I see. That's why you were so excited and faced me with just your bare limbs. Okasmin is still able to get up. He knew that she was outmatched. She went for direct combat, but he'll have another trick of her sleeve. Not have. But direct combat is all I have. Choke on Miss Poison, missed them. The jasmine on her shoulder opened, and it let out a mist, this time a different green coloured one, but Decker Blue did not falter. Quickly reached his eyes and opened it, releasing something. SWAT mode. Okay, let me pause for a minute. Quickly arming him with the rest of SWAT mode, Decker Blue and brandished the D revolver quickly and let out a barrage of bullets right onto the jasmine, doing them. So am I, Decker Blue concluded. I don't always depend on direct combat. Hody! At that time, the rest of the team has finished their part of the Barmy soldiers and joined up with him. I couldn't just finish you off. Deck Blue could just finish off. Deck Blue said to Casman as he put down his D revolver. But I'd rather do it as a team. Wait, don't you usually do that? Terra Ranger asked, trying to ask why Deck Blue seemed to forego a process of judgment time, as it was his habit. It's not worth it. This is ridiculous. I wasn't supposed to go this way. Gasman's calm video started to break as he started ranting. I thought those Rinrinchi got killed, I would get some. Rinrinchi, a mere word, suddenly triggered something within Melee. At this time, her voice became rather sharp. Taku, I demand that if we finish her off, I get the final blow. Oh, wait, what gives? Red Mask was survived by the sun change at temperament. And just throw the ball already. Abigail said he passed the Super Sentai ball onto him. Right, without much complaints, Red Mask tossed the ball to his friends. Whereas the ball was passed on, it seemed like everyone read the situation and did not pass the ball onto Melee until it was Abe Killer's turn, who kicked the ball right onto Melee and she stood ready. Okay, give me a minute. Up to his ad to finish. You'll pay. Ringy, Kisho, Gaigan. Melee gathered the flames she had after absorbing her old Phoenix fist, then pushed her fist forward as the flames formed a phoenix and infused the ball, launched it right onto Casman's stomach. Much like she had Dex Blue punch his fist through a monster's stomach, now there was a hole in her stomach. Death by irony right there. Gah! Ah! As sparks of light flies from Casman's damaged body, she tried her last words. Look at that, you did not even kill me, someone else did. How is your pride? She didn't even get to finish the line, she exploded. And all Deck Blue had for an answer, which he never got to hear, was already restored, thanks to my friends. Deck Blue turned towards his friends and knew he has a lot to explain for. And that's the gist of it. Wanted to return to Bonds and explain what he thought and went through because of that. There was nothing else in Hoji's mind, except one thing. He bowed down his head. I'm very sorry, I will not do this again. He's not even trying to act cool by spewing broken English, Sato commented, already able to sense the seriousness in Hoji. That's when you know he's serious, guys, so give him a break. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. Really, Sato? Do I know to do as well? You already know the answer is obvious, right? He then looked at the others, which the rest nodded. Hoji, the first to approach was May, though he still felt so much shame he didn't even raise his head. He was first to hold his shoulder and make him face her. Not about matters, what matters most is that I'm glad you're back. That apology was really unnecessary, Hoji. You know what, we'll give you a break for this. People sometimes have problems, that's what friends and team are for. Taku helped him to finally stand straight and tapped him on the shoulder as well for good measure. Don't be too hard on yourself, okay? As your oldest seen about is one advice I can give to you. Hoji could feel the overwhelming support he got from his friends, who all acknowledgingly smiled at him. It was getting too much on him and he seemed like shed a tear. However, he managed to stop from showing and managed to utter these words instead. Thanks guys, I really mean it. It's no big deal, so Merc also approached and suggested, maybe next time I won't feel like also be a similar Kumite session again. Ho just shook his head but managed to form a smile on his head. Just showed he wouldn't feel awkward anymore, showing Moko, that's a good answer. Seemed that life returned to a normal state for Mo, at least until the next strike. However, Long seemed to be on the plans for a longer game than this nefarious plan that struck at Hoji at his rather unfortunate vulnerable moment. Strength might be a tempting constant to pursue, but it had its own shares of troubles when not managed properly. Lesson learned well for the Super Sentai because of this event. And with this, they became more prepared to face whatever Long throws next. Go forth! Fight! Super Sentai! From the middle of a happy conclusion, suddenly Jiraiya know something. Wait, where's Melee and Mikoto? Then the team was rather shocked at something. Certain may notice Melee had a sudden outburst, finished off with Tasman. Didn't they say they had something to investigate? That it could give such an answer, but hope that they also hope they will return safely. Melee, however, has been surveying the city on her own, looking for what Okasumi mentioned. She said about the killed Rinrinchi, and she found them dead as a result of a manipulation of Hoji, Kuba, Kashi, Shizazura. She looked at the fallen Rinrinchi. She just knew it was practitioners of Rinjuken of the following schools. Ape Fist, Deer Fist, Horse Fist, and Steel Fist. Knew that, shouldn't that be knew them as? All of them died for nothing. and Long seduced him to his side. It was like Dokuro and Shikamaha, and they were tossed away like pawns. Bastard, until he longed. How long do you plan to smear on my legacy about Leo-sama left behind? Long! Clicking her teeth, Melee cursed at this fact. Yeah, as if getting too invested in this will actually get you somewhere. Suddenly Melee realized that Mikoto was walking to her from behind. Get his emotion on helm, and you'll find yourself not ahead of the game. Game? You call this a game? Melee growled back his back close to snipe Mikoto. You might not be found. These are people training under Rinjuken and under real Sama. It was seduced by Long. You're telling me I shouldn't even... Ha! Now I was trying to give you some good advice about how to play the game with his life and decision management. Mikoto still kept a nonchalant attitude, but from his tone it seemed he wanted Melee to figure out something. The more you keep his attitude, the more you'll fall into whatever Long is planning. He's admitted, but he's a smart player. For everything Mikoto said, Melee just balanced out and able to say a better retort. Maybe it's right about Long was known for his long game plan. Because of how Mikoto delivered this message, it's not that great, but she found it hard to accept it right away. Just stop telling me what to do. Remember, I'll make Long pay for this. With such a cold sentence, Melee walked away, leaving Mikoto to just sigh. What a troublesome girl. To be continued. Author's note, the chapter is, well, it's something heavily based on an old depressing anime called Ringing Bell. Just find it in YouTube to see the similarities. Oh, I haven't watched it, but I know the similarities, but it does have a better ending though. But still, I had to make sure it doesn't end as depressingly, so yeah. While Stinger seems to imply that next chapter will be a Melee or Mikoto story, it's not. We're going to have one more filler before we get to that part, but the build-up is better. Feel free to comment on this chapter. Drop a review, it will be appreciated. Okay, so that was, like you said, that was a pretty dark chapter, but it actually had some very good drama to it, and I got a few good jokes in, so it's actually pretty good. Join us next time for chapter 25, Movie Plot's Gone Awry, which is going to be based off that one episode of Akiba Ranger. You know the one.